So, when you think about school, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Probably a classroom, right? Desks, a whiteboard, the usual stuff. But what if I told you that the most important lessons, the ones that really stick, happen outside those four walls? That's what we're diving into today. This amazing idea that literally flips the script on education, the classroom without walls. Seriously, think about it for a second. Your own time in school. What do you actually remember? Is it some paragraph from a history textbook? Or was it that science fair project, the field trip, that hands-on thing you actually did? I'm guessing it's the experience, right? And that's the big question we're getting into. So to really dig into this idea, we've got to look at the person who's championing this and making it happen all over the world. Okay, so this is Avreeayl Womack-O'Neil, and his background is honestly incredible. We're talking more than 15 years transforming schools in places like LA, Shanghai, and Singapore. He's not just a principal, he's an international baccalaureate specialist, a huge advocate for something called cultural intelligence, and get this, he has an MBA from a top global management school and a master's in education. So you can see it's this really unique mix of on-the-ground school leadership and high-level global strategy that really shapes his entire philosophy. And that's the key thing here, right? Leading schools on 3 different continents means his ideas aren't just theory from a book. No way. This stuff was born from real-world experience. He's seen firsthand that the old cookie-cutter approach to school it just doesn't work anymore. It doesn't prepare kids for the world they're actually going to live in. And all that global experience led him to challenge a word that we hear all the time, especially in education, a word we've always thought of as a good thing: tolerance. Yeah, I know, it sounds a bit controversial, but just listen to what he says. For decades, international schools have preached tolerance. While well-intentioned, tolerance implies merely putting up with differences. It is a passive state. Wow. Think about that. Putting up with something. It's so passive. It's like you're just gritting your teeth and enduring it. It's not about connecting, it's not about understanding, it's just tolerating. And this really breaks it down. On one side, you've got tolerance. It's passive, it's just putting up with stuff. Honestly, it's a pretty low bar. But on the other side, you've got understanding and empathy. That's active. That's about actively seeking to connect. It's a way, way higher goal, and a much more powerful one for our kids to aim for. Okay, so if just tolerating each other isn't good enough, what's the alternative? How do you actually teach that deeper empathy? Well, this is where his big idea comes into play. This is the solution: classrooms without walls. So what does that actually mean? It's pretty straightforward, really. It's an approach where learning literally breaks out of the school building. It's about getting students out into the community, into the real world, through what's called immersive service learning. And let's be super clear. This is not just a field trip. Not at all. We're talking about deep, meaningful engagement. So instead of just reading about an issue, students are out there working with local organizations, confronting real challenges. This is where learning stops being abstract and becomes totally real. And this is how you build not just character, but those crucial skills, collaboration, resilience, and complex problem solving. But having a great idea is one thing. Actually making it happen, that's a whole different ballgame. It takes a really clear leadership plan to guide an entire school community through a big shift like this. And for that, O'Neil has this really elegant framework he calls the 3 A's. It's so simple and powerful. First, you anchor. That means you know your non-negotiables, your core values. Second, you adapt. You've got to be flexible and use your cultural intelligence to fit into a new place. And finally, you advance. This is about bringing the whole community with you, moving forward with a vision that everyone shares. And a huge piece of that advanced step is this awesome concept he calls radical visibility. It's the exact opposite of top-down leadership. It means you're not making decisions behind closed doors. Instead, you're bringing everyone in, parents, students, and making them co-authors of the school's journey. It's all about building trust and making sure everyone feels like they're part of the team. Okay, so we've got the person, the problem he identified, his solution, and even the leadership plan to make it happen. But let's zoom out. Why does all of this matter so much, especially right now? What's the bottom line for the future of education? It really boils down to this one powerful idea. Our world is more connected and more complicated than ever before. Just teaching kids to tolerate each other, that's not going to cut it. In fact, it's a recipe for more division. The goal has to be so much bigger. We have to be teaching our kids to actively understand, to connect, and to engage with people who are different from them. And that really leaves us with a final question, not just for educators, but for all of us. This whole classrooms without walls idea isn't just for some fancy school halfway around the world. It's a challenge for every single one of us. So, how can we start building more of these in our own communities? How can we knock down the walls between our local schools and the world right outside their doors? What opportunities are waiting just around the corner?